Good morning, students. In the earlier lectures, we have seen the early part of the first unit, that is the evolution of money, whereby we have seen the features of money, the functions of money, and the importance of money and the barter system. In the second chapter, we have seen the quantity theory of money, whereby we have seen the two approaches, the Fisher's approach and the Cambridge approach. Now in this lecture, we are going to see the monetary standards. Monetary standards, in this particular chapter, what are the areas which we are going to cover is the metallic standard, the paper standard, then the monometallism, bimetallism, their features, gold standard, silver standard, their features, at the same time the issue of the currency notes, the system of issue of the currency notes, whereby we will see the fixed fiduciary system, minimum reserve system and the other system. So today we will begin the monetary standards and under that the metallic standards. When we talk about the monetary standards, what does it mean? What type of the money which is prevalent in the economy? Now see, we are having the rupee as a currency. These currency which is in the form of the rupee or rupee currency notes which we are having, 5 rupee note, 10 rupee note, this is nothing but the paper currency which we are using. Similarly, when we are talking about the metallic standard and the paper standard, in the metallic standard, basically the government of the country normally uses the metals for the minting of coins, and metals are used as a means. Now see, under the metallic standard, basically the monetary standards are of two types. One is the metallic standard and the other one is the paper standard. At present, we are on the paper standard. When we are talking about the metallic standards, there are the two types of the system prevail. One is the monometallism and the other one is the bimetallism. Monometallism means what? In this system, basically, only the one metal is used for minting the currency, and this one metal is used not only for the domestic purpose but also for the settlement of the foreign transactions or external transactions. When we talk about the bimetallism, as the name itself suggests, here instead of the one metal, the two metals are used. These metals are basically the gold or the silver. So today we will see the first, at present we will see the monometallism. These are the features of the monometallism. The first one is there, one metal. Only the one metal is used, either gold or silver. It depends on the country which standard which metal is adopted. So the one metal, either gold or silver. The coins have the unlimited legal tender. Legal tender means what? Legal tender means the acceptance by the people to any currency. Legal tender. Like the 10 rupee note has the legal tender. When I am making the payment, like suppose I have bought the one pen and the price of the pen is 10 rupees. I am making the payment in the form of the 10 rupee note. Okay. This 10 rupee note is accepted by the seller. Why so it's possible? Because of the legal tender which is available with that particular currency, 10 rupees note. So legal tender is what? The government issues the note or the government issues the coins and the people accept it as a money. The legal tender is of two types. One is the unlimited legal tender and the limited legal tender. Unlimited legal tender means what? Whereby you are making the payment, in the currency notes or the coins, and it is accepted for an unlimited amount. And when we talk about the limited legal tender, it is that when you are making the payment, you can make the payment up to a certain extent only. Let's suppose if you want to make the payment with the coin that is 10 rupee, for the coin of 1 rupee, so you will make the payment up to a particular amount only, that is 1000. Beyond that you cannot make the payment with this 1 rupee coin, and the person has the right to accept it. Beyond that limit, the person will not accept the payment in the coins only. So limited legal tender and the unlimited legal tender. So when we talk about the monometallism, the coins have unlimited legal tender. It means the payments are made with the coins up to any amount. Then the next one is the full convertibility of the paper money also. If the metallic standard, in the metallic standards and the monometallism, along with the coins, the certain notes or paper notes are also issued. Okay, the paper notes also have the full convertibility. Full convertibility means what? See, for that purpose, you should be able to understand the intrinsic value and the face value. See, a coin, a gold coin, which is minted with the 10 grams of gold. At present, if we see, the 10 grams of gold comes in 50,000 rupees. So 50,000 rupees gold coin, 10 grams of gold coin is having the worth of 50,000 rupees. So full convertibility means what? Intrinsic value of the gold coin, is actually the 50,000 rupees. So if you will give it to certain authority, वो 50,000 rupees you will get, that the intrinsic value. When we say the full convertibility of the paper money, it means that if suppose the money is of 10,000, the paper currency is of 10,000 rupees. So if you exchange it in terms of the metal, then in exchanging it, you will be able to get 10,000 rupees worth of gold or silver. It's not necessary that monometallism will be only on the gold. It may be on the gold or it may be on the silver also. So the full convertibility of the paper money. Now say, under the monometallism, you can find the gold standard as well as the silver standard. The many countries of the world were on the gold standard, but this standard was abandoned in the year 1936. The silver standard was prevalent up to 1893. After that, this system was also abandoned. So, what we had studied here, the metallic standard. The metallic standard is of two types. One is the monometallism and the other one is the bimetallism. Monometallism, there may be the gold standard or as well as the silver standard. Now we are here on the bimetallism. As the name itself suggests, the bimetallism is what? Whereby simultaneously the gold coin as well as the silver coin, both gold and silver, both are used. So here the two metals are used. The coinage is free and unlimited. The coinage is free and unlimited. The government has the right to issue the number of coins. The government fixes the mint ratio. Government fixes the mint ratio means what? It means that the government has the right how much amount of the gold coins can be minted and how much amount of the silver coins can be minted. The full bodied coins having equal intrinsic value and the face value. As I said earlier, the 50,000 rupees gold coin, the 10 grams gold coin has the intrinsic value of 50,000 rupees. Intrinsic value, the metallic value of the coins. So full bodied coins having equal intrinsic value and the face value. See, at present the 10 rupee coin and the 5 rupee coin you are using. These coins are the token coins. Their intrinsic value and the face value differs. Face value is what? 5 rupee coin, 10 rupee coin, 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin. But if we are talking about its intrinsic value, the metallic value in those coins is not equal to their face value. It means if you will say 5 rupees coin, if minted, you will get the equal amount of the metal of worth of rupees 5. It's not necessary. These at present whatever the coins which we are using, these are the token coins. So in the bimetallism also, the full bodied coins having the equal intrinsic value as well as the face value. Okay. Now the unlimited legal tender. As we are seeing in the case of the monometallism, in the monometallism also we have the unlimited legal tender. Here also the coins, the money has the unlimited legal tender. This paper, this bimetallism also have the feature of the full convertibility. Here the money is also convertible in the metals, whether gold or silver. It depends on the person's will. Now the paper standard and its features as well as the system of issue of the currency notes we will see in the next video. Thank you.